Hello everyone, my name is Eric. I've been a videographer now for over 3 years and also been working for Bell Canada for over 13 years. I'm here with Jan today to talk about a second language learning tool, rapid fire round of questions. Are you ready? Let's go!
Yeah.
Okay Jan, so I'm going to ask you about 10 different questions that you've never seen before. So the first one is alignment with official languages. How does the tool align with the requirements of Canada's Official Language Act, ensuring it supports both English and French language learning to the standards required for public service positions?
Yes, so I think that's one of the benefits of the tool, that is built with the requirements of the Official Language Act in mind, and it allows the public servants to improve according to the requirements for the exams and for the official languages in the public service, which requires a great number of public servants to be bilingual in offering services to Canadians. Thank you.
Okay, so now I'm going to ask you the second question, which is relevance to the public service. Does the tool offer language training that includes vocabulary, scenarios, and communication styles relevant to the Canadian public service, such as those encountered in government meetings, policy discussions, and public interactions?
Yes, absolutely. So we know that the database of questions that currently exists with the School of Public Service is taking into account specific terms and specific requirements of knowledge according to government, intergovernmental communications, and also outwards facing services. But we are looking to bolster this capability with additional databases of Canadian media, such as those by Telefilm, Canada Media Fund, the Library of Parliament. We're also looking at importing databases of documents that are translated in both languages, official documents such as internal audit reports and financial statements of government departments. We're also going to allow specific government departments to import their database of terms so that the tool can be personalized for specific government departments and the specific job positions that the users are classified as, because the classifications in the federal government have their own descriptions for the kind of work that they are performing. So we can draw upon those databases as well to personalize the tool further and ensure that it is best fitted to its users. Thank you.
Okay, so now I'm going to ask you the third question, which is the second language evaluation, SLE. Does the tool specifically prepare learners for the Public Service Commission's second language evaluation, SLE, including the oral, reading, and writing components?
Yes, so that's the vision. We want the tool to prepare the users for all three components. As a minimum viable product, we would like in the first few months to ensure that it is preparing the users for the multiple choice exams, which is 2 of the 3 exams. The oral interaction being a bit more complicated, we have part of the tool that has a virtual tutor, which we're aiming to collaborate with IBM, NVIDIA, and Dell to create this virtual learning tool. But definitely we want the users to be prepared for all 3 exams, and we want them to get the levels that they need to be able to advance in their positions in the federal government, and to also offer the best customer service to Canadians possible. Thank you.
Thank you, Jan. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the fourth question, which is accessibility and inclusivity. Is the tool accessible to all public employees, including those with disabilities? And does it offer features like closed captioning, adjustable font sizes, and capability with assistive technologies?
Definitely, that's the vision. So again, the tool is not yet implemented. We're working on the first beta version, but we are implementing those capabilities for accessibility and inclusivity because we want to make it available to the widest array of possible users. And we know that in the Government of Canada, we also have employees that have special abilities, so they need to have a customizable tool that fits their learning needs. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Jan. So now on to number 5, flexibility and adaptability. Does the tool offer flexible learning options such as self-paced modules, mobile access, and personalized learning paths to accommodate the diverse schedules and learning styles of public service employees?
So that's a very good question. We are definitely considering including some elements such as self-paced learning. We want the tool to be able to use AI to provide customizable learning plans. We want to offer a time tracking capability where the users can know how much time they spent in various aspects of the tool, such as the mock exam facility, such as the learning plan facility, or later on the virtual tutor. We can add certain aspects to make the experience more enjoyable, such as games or rewards. But we do have a path where we see this tool also be used on mobile devices. We know that if we start by offering the tool to the federal public service, we want to make sure that security is baked into the solution. So we need to make sure that if it's accessible through an intranet website, the tool has the required security levels in order to protect the users. And if it's possible to create it as an app that is available for the public servants to install on their mobile devices, we would like that as well. And then later on, this tool can be adapted for other uses, perhaps offered to the Canadian population at large. It would be a very useful tool for the immigrants to learn the official languages. So in that scenario, we want to make sure that the tool is ready to be used without the specifics that are involved in teaching language in the government, but also to allow features such as accessibility and mobility, which will allow the tool to have the widest breadth of impact. Thank you.
Thank you, Jan. So on to number 6, progress tracking and reporting. Does the tool provide detailed progress tracking and reporting features that allow learners and managers to monitor language development and identity areas for improvement?
Yes, definitely. So we are working, we have consulted transformation experts from the federal government, in particular within my government department, Global Affairs Canada. There has been a methodology in order to create a performance measurement framework, and we're using that methodology to adapt to our project and create a performance measurement framework. This framework would involve elements such as I mentioned before, the time spent by users in the app, the measurement of the progress as opposed to controlled testing for people who are not using the app, also costing considerations. So all those elements, we're building it right from the start in a performance measurement framework, which will allow us to track the impact that our tool is having, the positive impacts, and also be able to measure concrete benefits from the tool. Because currently there are other tools that meet certain aspects of what we're trying to do, but the fact that it gets personalized to the public service in Canada, and the fact that the tool is allowing measurement with very clear variables that we're currently in the process of developing, will be a very net benefit, which will allow management to be able to track the benefits of using this tool for their employees. Thank you.
Thank you. So now we're going to go on to cultural sensitivity. Does the tool incorporate cultural sensitivity and awareness, ensuring that language learning materials reflect the diversity of Canadian society and avoid stereotypes?
Absolutely. So we want that the tool's AI component to be trained on a diverse set of Canadian media, also a diverse set of data that is available in the federal government. This involves, as I mentioned, the Canadian School of Public Service data. It would also involve Canadian media in which the Canadian government has invested funding, which we could perhaps integrate and incorporate in the IP that the tool is using to learn. The learning of the AI is used to generate new questions. It's also used to generate material for the virtual tutor, and it's also used to create personalities for the virtual tutor. So the virtual tutor, the hope is that it would be as diverse as the Canadians, and it would be able to adapt to the required needs of the user. So for example, if a user has a specific mother tongue, which is not one of the two official languages, we would like the tool to allow learning in that language. Now we know that this is not going to be possible for all the languages, but at least for the major languages, we would like that to be a capability. We would like also the tool to be sensitive to specific sensibilities in the Canadian society, and we want the tool to be able to take into account the fact that the tool is a public service learning tool. So we want it to be appropriate for use by the public service. If that means that we need to ensure that the terms used and the material and the capabilities are focused within certain bounds, we can definitely do that, and we would make sure that the tool is best adapted for learning in the public service of Canada. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Jan. So now on to number 8, integration with existing systems. Can the tool be easily integrated with existing government learning management systems, LMS, and other digital platforms used by the public service?
Well, that's definitely the hope. We are currently in the process of looking at the various tools that various departments are building and try to see where our tool is overlapping with these tools. We're meeting with the Canada Revenue Agency soon. They are in the process of working on a language learning tool. We're aware of other departments that have various pilot programs. For example, Global Affairs Canada has a pilot with a Rosetta Stone owned tool that is assessing the language level for learners, such as second language learners, but also for Canadian diplomats that are going abroad and they need to speak a foreign language. So in so doing, we need to make sure that these various additional tools or platforms or capabilities are integrating with our tool where possible, and in order to bolster the capabilities of the tool, but also to use other tools and other elements that are already existent so that we don't duplicate the effort to rebuild these aspects. But in other aspects, for example, where the licenses would be prohibitive, we could use the functionality that are inherent in the technology that we're proposing, and these functionalities might replicate certain other tools at a lower cost. So if that is the case, then we would prioritize those parts for development if we see a very tangible effort, cost, benefit relationship. So for example, if it's allowing us to spend not very much effort to obtain what is seen and perceived as a big need, such as, for example, real life translation between languages, if that capability would be very important for the users, and if we notice that similar tools are prohibitive in costs, then we could contemplate activating certain features of our platforms that would allow us to give that functionality at a small level of effort. So definitely that's something that's on our radar to make sure that it's integrating very well with the available tools. And in order to do that, as part of our performance measurement framework, we need to ensure that we do a full inventory of the universe of what's available out there, and to make sure that we are not just aware of what is out there, but how it overlaps or integrates with our tool, and then we can propose various development and also various integrations that can enhance the capability of our tool. Thank you.
Okay, so now moving on to support and maintenance. What level of technical support and maintenance is provided for the tool, and are there resources available to address other user questions and issues?
So thanks, Eric, for that question. That's definitely a question that will come up later in the process. Currently, we're just focused on creating a minimum viable product. So we want to make sure that the tool is working. At least for the multiple choice exams, we want to test it with some users. We want to do a control testing according to our performance measurement framework to see how the tool is helping the users. But along the line, once the tool becomes final version and it is put into production, then we need to make sure that the customer service or the technical support, if you will, that the users are getting when using the tool is there. Now, we want the tool to be as ergonomic and as easy to use as possible to minimize the required time and involvement of technical support. The technical support could also be enhanced or provided at a certain level by AI for at least the common questions. So that is a very important aspect to consider later on in the project, and we are definitely working on that. Thank you.
Okay, so now for our last question,
Yes.
measurement and effectiveness. How does the tool measure the effectiveness of language learning, and what evidence is available to demonstrate its impact on improving language proficiency in the Canadian service?
So that's the $1 million question, I would say, and that's a very good and fitting last question. We are definitely having that on our front of our thoughts. Basically, what we are thinking about is at a very basic level, we are able to determine what is the current statistics that is available in the federal government for the amount of spending on official languages, the success rates on these exams, and also the expectations, which are enshrined in documents that have exercises that people can practice with. Now, we also have specific information that we can draw upon from our partners, from inside of our department's language groups. We will speak to the champions for official languages. We will speak to the committee that across the government is promoting second languages, and it has data on the investment of government departments for the languages. So we'll take that as a baseline, and then we will compare, once we have a beta version of the app, we will compare with the results that are correlated to the time spent by the users and their personal characteristics. And we're hoping that the new data is showing an improvement in the speed of learning and also a decrease in the cost of learning. So that is our hope. We will definitely have more tangible data once we start the user acceptance testing, and once we check with the users how they're using the tool, and once we see the progress of the users within the tool, we can already have some expectations on how they will perform on the exams. But then we need to test that against the exam, and we need to compare that with a control group of users that is not using the tool to be able to determine the tangible benefits of using the tool. So that's coming up. Stay tuned. And thank you so much. I hope we'll have this chat again in a few months to discuss how we will progress until then. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jan, for showing up today. Very interesting, and I wish you all the best for your success.
Thank you, Eric.
No problem.
Talk to you soon.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.